Hey there, and happy Tuesday, guys. So, just a little update I was in Houston last week for our convention, or it's called On Stage, but for most people, you would think of it as a convention, and it was just a ton of fun. And so I wanted to let you know that it was just amazing, and thank you for your support, because I always get excited about going to events like that, because I have in my mind you guys and how much fun it is for me to bring back ideas and just see things in the upcoming catalog that I put names to, like, oh, this person's gonna love this, like they love little critters, and this person is going to love this suite of products and these colors and all that kind of stuff. So I have you guys like right at the forefront of my mind when I'm at those events, and just how fun it's going to be to plan projects and things around that for you guys. And so, yeah, it was truly fun. Still tired, still have my suitcases to unpack, and it's been busy days. Hi, Lisa, good to see you. And another gal, Maureen, I don't know if you're watching, but Maureen Gold, she's from New Jersey, and she's so sweet. She came up to me, and I almost felt starstruck, like, oh my goodness, this is this name that I see on my Facebook page here all the time. And she follows me, and she introduced herself to me at that event. And just to see her in person, just to make that connection when it comes to like people that I see their names, never met them before. And so, yeah, just nothing compares to seeing people and being in an environment like that. So totally pumped about that. And such as well. So that was great. But let me get to today's card for you, because I also, because I went to that event, I get to do a special pre-order before the pre-order, and I need to do that yet tonight, and get all the new ink colors. And I was going to kind of show you some of that, but maybe I'll do that throughout the week, because I'm planning on trying to get some videos squeezed in every day this week for you guys, because I have projects ready to go. And then with that, as I get my suitcase unpacked, I hopefully can show you other fun things, projects that we worked on, and things like that too. And so this is the card that I'm going to be working on. Hi there, Tabitha. And it's going to be a rocker card, so I'll explain that too as I get my camera turned around. So let me put my iPad down here and the card, and I'll get this going. Kind of feel like I'm just gonna wipe off my camera here. It looked a little fuzzy, like, sorry, like when my lens is dirty. Usually I try to do that before going live, and I thought I did, but it just, yeah, now it looks better. It just kind of looked blurry, or just not sharp, put it that way. Okay, so there's our rocker card. But last time I went live, I think I'd showed you some of our team swaps, and since then we got this one from our team too. So when people participate in our team swaps, totally optional, but we love seeing what everybody is sharing. So I thought, oh, have to show you this with the Easter Bunny stamp set and the Easter Bunny punch, how the bunny's tucked into the grass and everything. This is from my teammate Shannon Reese, and I just love the color combination. Super sweet for spring, Easter, all of that. So I didn't want hers to get lost in the shuffle. Hers came a little bit later than everybody else's, and so I wanted to show you guys that. Okay, so rocker cards are all the rage lately. I don't know if you've seen them. So this is just a circle cut out of our circle dies, scored in half. And so when they sit, they rock. And because my camera's like at an angle, hopefully you can see that decently. So yeah, that is called a rocker card. Not too long ago, one of my customers, Vicky, she sent me her version of her rocker card, and I thought, oh, how cute is that with the sweet new cow bundle? Hello, friend. Thank you. And so hers is just, yeah, just like the next size down, maybe that way or whatever. But yeah, same type of thing. So rocker cards are so fun, and they're not so hard to make. And I will be honest, I copied my card from another demonstrator, and I was glad I watched her video, because there's a couple things I don't think I would have picked up on my own. So I wanted to be sure and make this card not just into a still shot, but into a video, so that I could help pass along the instructions on how to make it, and make it more fun and more easy for you guys to follow along with that as well too. So yeah, so let me get started. the main component with the rocker card is our fun, newer Deckled Circles dies. So you can see when I open up the set here that you have quite a large assortment. There's even one off to the side there too that, yeah, so there are 14 dies. Yep, lots of dies. And so what I do when I start my rocker card is I'll cut like a 6x6 sheet of basic black for today, or 6x6 of whatever color you want to use. And then this is the largest die from the Deckled Circles die. And I'm not cutting these out because this was one of the projects at the card class I had a couple weeks ago. And so I'm just taking the pieces and showing you today's project so that you don't miss out because you didn't get to come to one of my events or you live far away. So then I just cut the basic black out of the 6x6, and then what I did is put this in my my trimmer. I put it in my, sometimes I don't show you this too often, but my big scoring tool. I love my scoring tool. I might have to actually back up because it's big. Okay, and I use this a ton. I use it whenever I prep for a class, and you can see the grooves that are 4 1/4 and 5 1/2 for scoring my cardstock in half and such. And so what I did is I felt like I had a better grasp by doing it on here than on my trimmer with the scoring tool. So I just kind of put it in here and kind of went like, okay, it's going to about the 5 1/2. So let's do the 2.75, but there's kind of a different look to it because it's deckled. It doesn't give you that exact matchup of like what a complete circle would look like. So I felt like I had a better grip on using this, and so I kind of put it in between the 2.75 and the 3-inch marking on there, and then scored it in half. And I felt like when I folded it in half, it worked really well for that. So that's what I'm going to do here for you guys then, is just take this and give it a good crease here with my bone folder. And then we have this, and like I said, this would also make a really fun taco card. So keep that in mind for that fun fold and that Fiesta set that I posted last week that everybody loved. That's not a new set, but I think when you see it in a different way, it's kind of fun. So that'd be kind of fun to make a taco card with this. Okay, but today we're making the cherry card. Belle, stay on task. Okay, so my other disclaimer for tonight is this cherry paper was part of the Sunny Days Designer Series paper from Celebration. So if you remember, like the marks on the side and the cute cherry paper on here. So some of you have this. You can't get it anymore now, but you could. So how I cut this before I put my adhesive on is I took the next largest circle, and there again, instead of just cutting out 6x6 or whatever, I had to think through this and go, if I cut a circle and then use this, well, then when it comes to the other one, it's going to be upside down cherries. So I just did a 3-inch strip by 3x6, and then cut this out. And then because it's smaller here, what I did is I just cut it so that that there'd be a little bit of a strip off of here. So just like 1/8 of an inch off of there, I cut it accordingly so that I could bring this all the way up to the crease. And then where that 8-inch comes into play isn't so much across the top here, but that it's giving us this nice black outline there. So now I can go ahead and tape this down here with my adhesive. So I'm just going to put that on there like so, right up to the top. Got that, and I'll just go like that. And so now what I'm going to do is just set that aside so it's already a rocker card. Oh, you know what though? I am going to do the inside. So, okay, so for this, what I did is took that same size, which is the second from the largest, same size as the cherry, and that's going to be the inside. But what I could do with this one is cut out a 6x6 and do that fully. And so there again, I want to have this black outside left around it all. So what I did after I cut the full circle to cut it down is I just put it in my trimmer and basically think of this being full. Here, let me get another one. This will make more sense. if I can visually show you. So I have the circle, and then what I did is just trimmed off that much from the middle. So from each side, it just took like 1/8 of an inch on each side, and that's going to allow that there. So you can kind of play around that with that. It doesn't have to be exact, but I thought, well, I'll just start with that, and everybody at the class had the perfect way to put that inside and still have that nice black edge there that's pleasing to the eye. So before I tape that down, I am just going to open up my Poppy Parade ink pad here. And for the sentiment, I used the Sweet Citrus. So I didn't do anything with the cherry stamp set, just the cherry builder punch. Enjoy the sweeter things in life kind of goes with the cherry. So I'm just going to use my Poppy Parade ink pad and ink that up like so. Enjoy the sweeter things in life. I really like the font. It's just so fun and easy to read. So I'm just going to tape that down then for the inside, like so, and then you can put that right up to the top. Oops, I'm just going to make sure that the black showing on either side is about even and equal there. So now we've got kind of the outside inside base. Now let's work on this focal point here on the circle. Hi there, Ronnie. Good talking with you lately. Good to see you on here. So for this white piece here that I've pre-cut from the Deckled Circle dies, that is going to be, let me open this up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 7th one, because I have this one. Yeah, that's number 6. So the 7th, if you count out from the middle, the 7th one, that is the size that I am using for this particular circle for basic white. And I found that if I stamped first, then I could kind of place my cherries around that. So the 4U, I'm going to place that on my ink pad. That comes from the Layering Leaf stamp set. I really like this, and mostly because of the sentiments, but I love the punch that goes with it too, that bow punch. So yeah, we've got the 4U and lots of other sentiments that we use often. And the 4U, I'm just going to ink up then in my Poppy Parade towards the top, maybe a little off to the side there. Okay. So then our stamping's done, and then we're just going to do some punching. So with the Cherry Builder punch here, I got out some cherry cobbler and just kind of cut strips that will just slide across here to get a couple cherries punched out like that. So we've got that. Oh, I'm not even going to clean up as I go because this punch kind of makes things fly. I think a lot of our punches, don't you agree, make things fly? Okay, oh yeah, Ronnie says, I hope that die set doesn't retire. Well, the Deckled Circles has been moved to online exclusives, and my task today was not only to order my pre-order that I can do because I went to the Houston event, but to kind of go through the retiring list and pull things out. So the Deckled Circles, I'm really confident it's going to stay online and just continue that way. So that's a very good question. I always like it when you guys talk about different things like this, because I'm sure you're not the only one wondering, especially because I'm using it. So I'm just going to take and punch a couple of these leaves. And actually I need 3, so I'm just going to punch an additional leaf there. So now we have a total of 3. And I'll just take all those other pieces, toss them aside. And then the last thing that I need is I just have some basic black card stock, and I'm going to make that be the stems here. And don't we all love it when we can use up some of these strips and scraps and such? It's always a good feeling. So I've got that. I'll just move it up a notch and punch out another one. So those are the pieces that we need to make that. And what I'm going to do then is get out my glue dots and find this there's kind of a nice thicker kind of spreads out there to hide the glue dot. So I'm just going to take and now place this right on the center top here of my cherry. And if you see that there's like little bits or pieces of your glue dot that stick out, I just take your pick tool, just kind of tuck it underneath there, and that does a really good job of hiding it, or even then sliding this down just a bit. So I want one of the cherry stems to go that way and the other one to go the opposite way. So just going to do that same thing. So I'm just going to squeeze it onto there, and as I take it off, sometimes too, it's almost easier to tuck the extra ends up and underneath there like so. And now this one's going to be looking this way. And then I'm just going to take one of the leaves, press it in here, and that's going to go on that cherry. And then this one's going to go on the opposite way. So we've got this, and this is why I like my glass mat too. It can kind of stick but easy to peel off. And then this one is just going to be the single leaf for this other cherry here. So I've got that. So that comes together really quick that way. Now for these pieces, I'm just going to tip them over and grab some dimensionals. I'll put a couple dimensionals on the cherry. I'm just going to put one on the leaf. Here I'm going to put one on each leaf. And this is when I work with projects like this, I always go, Stampin' Up! Knows exactly what they're doing when they pick like the leaf size. Like this leaf size is like the perfect size to put a dimensional. It's not too small. I suppose we could use minis, but I always love it when it's like, okay, this is exactly the size it should be to use dimensionals very easily. And then, oh, here. This is what we're working on. There we go. So I've got the single leaf there, and then this one I'm just going to kind of tuck underneath there like so. So how cute is that to put some cherries there like that? Okay, so now this is where I would have struggled until I saw how this other demonstrator did it, and it's like, why go through the pain of making something wrong when I can watch somebody else? So I'm always quick to credit other demos. I would have just put like, oh, this goes on there, and just attached it down and not thought too much of it. But then where I would have ran into a snag is it wouldn't have fit into my envelope to mail it. And I honestly probably would have thought, okay, people just hand these cards out. They don't pop them in the mail. But if you just put your card, lay your envelope down and put your card here, it's going to fit like that. And then when you know, like, this is where this is going to fit there, you'll know, okay, this is where it needs to be. So I'm just going to put like 3 dimensionals or so right across this and attach that with dimensionals, and just line that up just like I said for you guys here. And then we've got that. And then I always double check to make sure that my dimensional isn't hanging out too far, where if I put it in my envelope, it's not going to stick that way. So that kind of is a good spot for that. And then the only other thing that I have to follow up, because that kind of completes the card because I did the inside at the beginning, is just to add a little bit of bling. And so for my bling today, I have the iridescent foil gems. They're mostly clear with that iridescent kind of shimmer shine. They kind of remind me of like, oh, I'm kind of aging myself, but I used to like to kind of play with marbles with my older sisters and do games with that. But it kind of reminds me of the crystal shiny things that were inside that. So let me just grab one of those and kind of put that in between there, and then just layer out a couple of the smaller ones up at the top like so, just to kind of almost give it like a dewy look for the fruit there. So that completes that for a rocker card. So for those of you that like a different look for the fun fold, hopefully, oops, I need to give that a good crease so it actually rocks and doesn't just go flat. Okay, so yeah, for those of you that like different kinds of fun folds, thanks, Ronnie. This will be a fun one. And once you get the hang of it, I think I was a little overwhelmed because it was just such a different look than what I was used to. But now that I know how to do it, and especially with these great dies, it just makes that come together really easily that way too. And then kind of the sky's the limit as far as your focal point and cute papers and such like that too, which is neat. Thanks, Jean. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, I'm always good about the tips. If I found that like I would have done something wrong, I'm going to make sure and pass that along so that you guys don't have to struggle like I might have if I wasn't listening or watching to somebody else's good instructions too. So yeah, that's my inspiration for today. Like I said, I'll have some more throughout the week because I have other projects, cut and ready to go for you guys. And I still have my host code going too. So for those of you that are going to order, the retiring list came out yesterday. And if you need to order, you'll be getting a nice little thank you surprise from me for ordering. If you choose to do that, just plug in the host code that I've got pinned to the top of my Facebook page here. So have a good evening. I was back on a little bit later. My day got backed up, and so it's good to see some of you tuning in still, maybe even with your pajamas on. So take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.